Good evening, everybody. You should all be able to hear me and fingers crossed see me with some sort of jungle background. Hope everyone's well this evening. Nice sunny weekend here in Yorkshire. We're going to talk for the next 45 minutes about setting up your website for the new season. So this is ideal for a club who's perhaps new to Pitch Hero. Perhaps this is the first time you've started a new season, or even clubs that have been with us for a while. So we're going to have a good chat. It's going to be pretty fast because we've got a lot of things to cover. But I'll send you this presentation afterwards, and we're going to make a blog about it as well. And if you've got any questions, you can of course reach out to Pitch Hero staff at any time and ask for help as I'll explain. So it's good to have you on board. There's plenty of people online now. If you look on your control panel down the right-hand side there, there's some questions that you can place in here. You can ask a question at any time. Throughout the evening, I'll keep an eye on this and keep answering them. So please do keep checking back. And if you've got any question at all, just put them in that spot there and I'll try my very best to answer them as we go or all together at the end, okay? So I'll turn off the video now so you won't be able to see me anymore, but you should be able to see my screen and you should be able to hear me. I've got lots of tabs open here across the top. So we'll look at some live examples and we'll also look at some of the control panels. I will warn you now, it might be a bit quick. So if you do have any questions, please do ask them through the support team and this presentation will be sent to you. So let's get going. So first of all, sport is back. Great news. Running a sports tech company when there's no sport is a tricky 18 months, I can tell you. So it's been a tough 18 months for everyone. We've seen low levels of football take place back in the sort of autumn time before the real Christmas shutdown, and then again after Easter, early summer, there was quite a bit of football going on. So a wee bit of hockey is happening this summer, which is good to see. Hockey summer leagues, but we've seen minimal rugby, really no rugby at all for a full season and 18 months now. So we're back, and hopefully the next couple of weeks, all of those sports will be returning, which is great news. Along with the sport, along with the players, is of course volunteers. This is the most important people out of everyone because they make sport happen. They organize the games, the facilities, the kit, the fixtures, everything. Lockdown was hard for everyone, and I keep sort of having this conversation with people, particularly volunteers, because as well as they probably had a job to do, they might have been furloughed, they might have had a family to look after, grandparents to look after, elderly people to look after, they might have had the nightmare of homeschooling, and we all know about that. And then they've also had this volunteering piece, which, is just a huge burden. In a time like that, it's a lot of responsibility. So we're all coming out of it pretty weary and pretty tired, I think. And so sport can be a great escape for those volunteers, but it can also mean extra admin, and it can also mean extra stress and extra hard work. And what we're saying from Pitch Hero is we don't want you to be doing extra admin. We don't want you stressed. We don't want you doing crazy things in Excel or duplication. We want to make your life as easy as possible. So over the next couple of weeks, you're going to be hearing our special campaign, which is called Be Volunteer Happy, where we're trying to make as many volunteers as happy as possible by using really good technology from Pitch Hero. And the whole of the office, all teams, support team, accounts management team, dev team are all geared up for this. And we want to be giving you as much help and advice over the next couple of weeks. So we're doing webinars on Monday night. You might have joined that with myself and John Oakes. We're going to be doing regular webinars on a Thursday. And there's probably going to be 2 to 3 webinars now every week for the next 5 or 6 weeks, all about concepts of how to run a club, how to manage teams, how to manage volunteers and members, but also the technical piece of Pitch Hero as well. And tonight's a technical one. So how do you talk to Pitch Hero? The best way is to book a call. If you ring, we've got 3 or 4 people in support. They may be on other calls, they may be tied up, they might be away from their desk. If you email, obviously you've got to wait for that, and it's obviously difficult getting everything down in an email. But if you go to join.pitchhero.com/demo, you will see a calendar there. And you can go on, you can book a date and a time when you know you're going to be free. And you can also write in there a list of all the things you want help with or advice about. And we can then find the best person in our office to have that call with you. So if you are struggling at any point over the next 4 or 5 weeks as a volunteer, please stop. Please go to join.pitchhero.com/demo, book a quick call. Our office is 9 till 5, but you can book it into the evening and somebody will pick it up. One of the guys will work late, we'll work from home, and we'll make sure you get the time you need. We also do calls with 3 or 4 volunteers at a time. So we can do webinars like this. We can do video calls. We can do all kinds of things as well. So if you want to book a call that has 5 or 6 different volunteers on, we can do that. We can even do Saturday mornings, whatever works best for you guys during this critical piece. So let's crack on. And there's quite a few things to cover. 12 points we're going to talk about. We've got a slide through points. These are some of the things that our teams put together that all admins will be having a look at now over the next few weeks. So let's kick off. First thing, new season, new club website, new start. What should you be doing? The first thing you should be doing is making sure all the coaches, club officials, team managers have access to the control panel. What part of the control panel do they need access to? Is it site content? Is it teams? Is it payments? Is it membership? Teams move obviously up a year. Make sure all the team officials associated with that team also move up and they have the right access levels. The best clubs, the biggest clubs on Pitch Hero will have 2 to 3 team admins. Let me show you one right now. Here we are, and this is Reading Hockey Club. They won't mind me showing you the number of people they have in their, here it is, in their access. Oh, let me just log back into that one. Logged myself out. They have a huge number of people logged onto their club website. And these are all the people that are adding content, that are managing membership, that are managing payments, that are managing communication. They have thousands, I think it's 3,500 members associated with their club website, and they share the burden of running the club website. So I recommend strongly, the first thing you do is check to make sure all the people who need access to your club website can get the access they need. Check this, you go to the admin section of your control panel, the settings section down here. You should be able to see me pointing to it now. Hit settings and access controls, and that has everything you need. The next one is season archive. So this is where you create a season for the team content to go and to sit in. It's really important because for a lot of clubs going into the winter season, you've ended one season, you need to create a new season. So again, we're in the control panel here. We go to settings, we go down to seasons here at the bottom. And these are your seasons. And this new season has already been created. So this is a cricket club. So their seasons run January to December. So they've already created a season for 2022, which is next season. But all the match and team content they create will sit in this 2021. It'll sit between January 21 and December 21. Then any match information created next year will sit in season 2022. It's really easy to do. Let me just move a few things out of the way. So to add a season, you add a season top right there. You name the season. Some people have different ways of naming the season. So for example, they do 2023. They like to have a capital S on season. It's 1st of June 2023 to December 23, the 31st there. And you hit save. And it creates a new season for you. Bingo, that's it, dead easy. If you've got a laptop in front of you, you can even do it right now. That makes sure all the content goes in the right place. If you're a winter season, I think I've always recommended that people do first week of July, or the first day of July and the last day of June. Normally pre-season starts in July, so that's a good time. So all the content from last season, that runs up till the final last day of June, and then start your new season on the 1st of July 2021 or 1st of July 2022. Make sure your season's start date and end date are next to each other. So they should be the next day, should be the start date, if that makes sense. Okay, so new season archive, we've covered that. Your content's now in the right place. Number 2, nice and important, you need to migrate players. I don't know what players are, let's change that. Migrate players from one team to the other. So this means that if you have an under 14s from last season, they're now going to be under 15s. So you need to move those teams from the under 14s to the under 15s. What you absolutely do not do is rename the teams, okay? Forget that. You move the players up. The team content stays where it is, but the players move up. So the players move up into the under 15s, or the under 15s move up into the under 16s. It's quite an important feature is this. If you don't do this, big chunks of your team management won't work. So it's a really important task that somebody needs to do. We recommend the person that does it at your club, do it for all teams in one go. There's no point of doing one team. You'll just have one team moved. Everyone else will be kind of out of place. So take responsibility and move all teams together. You have to move each team one at a time, but move all teams in one go. So the way to do it is you come to your membership database and back in the Pitch Hero Create control panel here. I hit membership database. I'll just move this out of my way. You hit filters and then you select the teams that you want to move. So let me unselect them. So I'm going to move under 16s to under 17s, all the players there. So I've selected my under 16s. I hit filter. These are all my under 16s players. So then I'm going to select them all and I'm going to hit roles. So their roles at the moment is they are players of the under 16s. So I want to add a role. So you've got remove or add. So we're going to add a role. Select role, we want to make them a player, and we now want to make them a player of the under 17s. So then I would hit OK and save, and that would then move all of those players into the role of being players in the under 17s. That's fantastic. What I also need to do is then remove them from being the role of players on the under 15s, sorry, of the under 16s. So then I'll hit remove a role, player, and then remove the role of under 16s by selecting that there. And then I'd hit OK and save. So I've taken one role away from them and I've given them a new role. And you need to do that for all of your youth, junior, and mini teams. That's how you move people up. And you also need to do it for coaches and team admins as well. And that makes sure they migrate in a logical way through the club. So that's a bit of a tricky one. But once you get the hang of it, it's very easy. At this stage, I'm going to introduce to you the Help Center. If you don't know this, have a look. It's fantastic. We spent a lot of time trying to improve this and use it, and our data shows, stats show that clubs are using it really well. So help.pitchhero.com/knowledge. You've got Pitch Hero Club website, the mobile apps, the user account, if you're a league website with Pitch Hero, and also our teamer apps as well. So on the Pitch Hero Club website, and again, we spent a lot of time laying this out in the most logical order we can. You have a really simple way of getting around. So anything to do with teams is here. You can scroll through membership, all the different functions that you have. Scroll down to the team section here. So if I'm going team, see more, all the different things that you might be doing. So manage training in the club control panel, manage player availability, all the things that you would need to do in the control panels here in the Help Center. Have a look at this. We get very good feedback from it. It works really well. We spent a long time trying to write it in a way that you guys would understand it and make the most sense. So that's migrating players from one year to the next. The next one, connect competition. So Pitch Hero has a really powerful competition database that runs tens of thousands of competition fixtures, about hundreds of thousands of competition fixtures every season across multiple teams. If you go to the Pitch Hero blog right now, you'll see a blog post here called League Competitions 2021-2022. These are all the competitions that are currently added to our system. So we have all the fixtures for these competitions. So this is football. As you can see, it's pretty huge here. These are the teams are asking us to add these. They send them in, they get added to our system. Look how many football fixtures we've got, huge. Rugby union, we've got pretty much all the RFU English rugby in there. I know for a fact Scottish, Welsh, and Irish are currently being worked on. I saw that on the board. I walked past that. And we've now got most of England hockey in there as well. I think there's 1 or 2 new hockey leagues going in. England hockey has been restructured. Fantastic news. No longer lots and lots of different leagues. It's now a very small league structure, which is great. All the Midlands, all the Northwest fixtures are in there. And that includes second team, third team, fourth team, and fifth team. So the fixtures for these competitions are now in the Pitch Hero system, and more will be added throughout the season. So let me show you how that works. If I hit back here, which club are we on now? I think it could be clicking on Rugby Club. We'll go back into there. Fantastic. So we're in clicking Rugby Club here. We're going to go to teams, select the team you want to talk about. So this is the first team. And then you can click manage competitions, which is here. So you hit that. Now these are all the competitions that this team is connected to in the Pitch Hero system. So they've been using Pitch Hero since 07-08. And these are all the leagues that they've been in since they've been on Pitch Hero that they're connected to. And you can see they're already connected to the North Division, North 1 East. To do that, you hit join competition. Pitch Hero knows the name of your club, so we're already promoting suggestions. If you can't see the league, you would type it in here. But as you can see, we've already suggesting that Cleckie needs to connect its third team to the Yorkshire Merit table and the second team to the Championship West Yorkshire Merit. So you just hit connect, connect, and the connection's made straight away. When the competitions is updated in the Pitch Hero system, a fixture change, a result, that automatically appears on your club website and in your mobile apps, and it also powers the league table as well. This is a massive time saver. So make sure you connect your leagues, your teams, to the right competition on Pitch Hero. If your competition is missing, email support@pitchhero.com. In fact, email in the league fixtures if you can get hold of them, and we'll add them to the system, and you'll be able to take it from there. So connect your competition. Next one, inviting players and parents. So Pitch Hero has a good tool that lets you import hundreds, if not thousands, of lines of membership records in one go using the import tool in the membership database. So if I come here to the bottom of the membership section, import, this is the page you could see on the screen. You basically just need an Excel file. So an Excel file of names and email addresses. You can upload that in a bulk. Once it's into your membership database, you can then use the tool. If I come back here, chug, go back to the membership database. Once you've got them in your large database here, you can hit the invite tool. Sorry, you can select the members that you want to invite and hit invite, and it'll create this for you. So we can't send invites to 29 because they're already members, but you can send invites to all these players. So then you can create an email here and send it, and they'll get an email straight into their inbox saying, "Hi, it's Bob from Club. Please sign up here and register to be a member." So if you have a database, a spreadsheet of new members or old members that aren't on your system, upload it to the membership database and then use those invite tools. We find pretty much instantly, as soon as the invite's sent, within half an hour, 10, 20, 30, 50 members are registered and signed up to the club website. So make sure all your members are invited and signed up. Also, if you don't have an email address, you need to start promoting registration as well. So this is a great time to post a news item on the website about registering for the website. It's important to post it on social media with a link to the registration page. And it's also important to ask all team officials and club officials to share the registration link as well. Some of our clubs, look at this. This is Reading Hockey Club, one of the bigger clubs. They have join our club on their top page here. If you click that, it takes the first registration page. I'm logged in, so it'll take me straight through. In fact, it sends them to, which I'll come on to later, a whole section about membership and reasons why you should join Reading Hockey Club, which is even better. But the normal registration form, you would just click the join button top right here. So share that link with your club officials, with your team managers and your team officials, and get them sharing that link on WhatsApp, on social media, on email, and encourage many of your members to sign up. The next one, update news. So it may have been a while since you've had any games or any reason to post a news item, but the season is starting and the best websites have the best content. You have great content by giving people access. Don't think as a webmaster or as a volunteer, you have to do everything. It may be that you're really good at organizing people, but you're terrible at writing. I can assure you there'll be people in your club who are brilliant at writing, but terrible at organizing people. So find those people that can write stories, and you'll probably need 3 or 4 people, a couple covering juniors and a couple covering the seniors, who can write content and get it online. The bigger clubs, at least 4 or 5 nice pieces of content every week. At this time of year, there's lots of fun content you can be talking about. So you can be talking about the new season, what to expect pre-season, new players that might be joining you, the league fixtures, where are the big games, the local derbies. You could talk about how to register online and how much the membership fees are. You could do a special post where you welcome new members and tell them why they should join, and how excited you are, and who they should contact, and who they can meet to welcome them to the club. You can also talk about new sponsors. A really good thing to do is every time you sign a new sponsor, is obviously make a news item promoting that sponsor with links to their website or their phone number, a voucher code, and offer to your members. You can introduce the committee. There's been changes from the AGM. You can have a bio on each committee with photos explaining who they are. And you can also call out your volunteers. You could say a big thanks to your volunteers for working so hard during COVID. But you could also do a volunteer audit right now. You can find out where you've got weaknesses, where do you need volunteers, what skills do you need? And when you realize what skills you need, you can make that into a news post as well. So there's lots of ideas, never-ending ideas for what you can post news. But the most important thing is you don't try and do everything yourself, because that'll be impossible. Find out the people who are good at writing. Find out the people who like to write. I know in my organization, we've got a copywriter. I can just ring him, give him 5 minutes of an idea, and he will produce 500 beautiful words. I can even just email him 6 bullet points, and he turns that into a great piece. Copywriters can do great things. So find those people that can write at your club and give them access, give them briefs, send them ideas, send them messages with content on, and they will start bringing your website to life. Next one, new members. So we're going to do a really big piece on this on the blog and talk about this much more in the next couple of weeks. How to welcome new members to your club. I think clubs always underestimate how daunting joining a sports club is. Imagine you've got lots of big blokes, alpha males, or people beating their chest playing sport. Walking into that dressing room for the first time as a new player is pretty daunting, and it's very daunting for a junior kid as well who might be playing sport for the first time. It might also be very daunting for a parent. Perhaps they weren't part of a sports club. They don't know how they work. They don't know how much it's going to cost. They don't know what's going to be required of them. They don't know where to go. And on a Sunday morning at a junior club, it can be chaos, can't it? You can have an overflowing car park and hundreds of kids screaming and 20, 30 teams playing. Your mum and dad for the first time turning up. It's pretty terrifying. So it's really important you give them as much help as possible, as much direction. And we strongly recommend every club creates a welcome section within their club information page. So this area here, club information, you can create a custom section here with videos and photos. Reading do it well, but in that section, you should first of all say a big welcome to the club, something about yourself, who you are, who the key contacts are. Perhaps a message from your chairman. It could be a video. That would be really great. Certainly photos of key committee members. I would then highlight or make them aware of a new member welcome ambassador. Someone's job it is to just meet and welcome new members. They need to have a big photo on there. They need their name, their email, their phone number, and say to them, if you're coming down with your kids or you're coming down to play for the first time, message Bob, and Bob will be there to shake your hand. Bob will be there to welcome you. Bob will make sure that your child and the mum are taken to the right team on the playing pitch, and he'll introduce you to the coaches, and he'll introduce you to the team managers, and he'll make sure you're looked after and you'll have a great experience. It's a really important role, and it's not only so a good opportunity to get new volunteers doing things, because it's a role that perhaps isn't paperwork, isn't the admin, isn't the responsibility. It's just being able to talk and be nice to people and be welcoming. So perhaps it's something for a younger person. Perhaps one of the first teams or the second teamers could do it for juniors. One of the mums or dads could do it. A really important role at this time of year is a new member welcome ambassador, and it's really important. On this section, also include links to training for different teams. You could do when the club's open, when it's not open. You could talk about what a child needs at their first training session. Do they need kit? Do they need boots? Do they need trainers? Will they get changed there? What's the changing facilities like? You could even post photos. I've got a friend, a consultant, and he says that the most important thing for mums and particularly female players is the changing environment. They're gonna have to go into a changing room, get changed with loads of other kids, or can they turn up in their own clothes and just leave? Telling them things like this will give them really good reassurance. And of course, list the price. No one likes to be caught out. No one wants to turn up to a hockey session or a rugby session. The kid has a great game. He's in love with the sport. He thinks it's fantastic. And then the treasurer says that'll be £240 for the year, please. That's a big chunk of money for a mum to swallow. So always put your numbers on there, make it really clear. And in a really good way, you could say new members, you get a discount, or you can pay monthly, even better with Pichiro recurring payments. So a really important thing that you should all be doing this time of year is creating a new members section within your club control panel. So as we go on to talk about members, we're going to talk about online registration and payments. So Pichiro's done a lot of work over this on the years, and we've tried to make it both as simple to use and as flexible as possible, which isn't easy by any means. But any club can create a custom registration form where someone comes to the website, they sign up with their email address and their details, but they can fill out lots of information for the club. We've had some clubs that get a bit carried away with this, and it's, they have 40+ fields, what sort of, the circumference of your head, how big are your shoes. They want everything, every bit of detail. I wouldn't go that far, but it is a good opportunity to get the data you need off your members, and it's a great opportunity to get rid of paper forms. So we recommend having a look at the Pitchera custom fields and creating your very own registration form. It's very easy to use. You go to the membership database and there's a big button there that says custom fields and you can fill it out. We also have very good sections in the help area which show you how to do it. Once it's created, a player can go to their account section within Pitchera and they can update those fields whenever they want. So if they move house or they change jobs and they get another email, or they get a new phone and they change phone number, they can take it upon themselves to fill out that data in their account section. So you're not chasing them all the time to update. They can take it upon themselves to update their own information. Once they're registered, even at the same time as registering, you can ask them to make a payment, the membership payment, the annual membership payment. We talk about this a lot, and I know clubs probably get sick of Pitchera talking about payments. But every club that's switched to Pitchera payments, online payments with Pitchera, we've never had them leave us. We've not had one club who's done, 50,000, 80,000, 100,000, even 200,000 a year through us and turned around and said, you know what, it's not good enough. We just get great feedback year after year from clubs and admins who just say, wow, this has changed our whole club. We collect way more revenue because we can see who's paid and who hasn't paid. The admin is no longer stressful. There's an awful embarrassment of chasing parents and chasing kids and walking around the clubhouse with a laptop or a paper form of who's not paid. I remember some clubs, they sort of pin a notice on the pin board of who still owes their fees. Some clubs have that brilliant technique of if you haven't paid your membership fees, you can't get selected, but then the star player hasn't paid, so you'll let him off. It gets frustrating. We now recommend all clubs really embrace the Pitchera online payment tools. You can create any payment you want, membership payments, fundraising, payment for kit, payment for sponsorship. You can set up how it's paid for, so it could be a recurring payment, it could be a one-off payment, it could be a credit card payment or a direct debit payment. And once that product's created, you can then send it out to all your members and specific members. So if you create online membership for juniors, you can send all the junior parents a link to a page that looks like this with all the different payment options on, and they can just go through and pay. It's just like buying a book on Amazon, just like paying a TV license, just like buying a flight on Ryanair. So have a good look at this. If you want specific one-to-one coaching on how to set it up or how to use it, please go to that demo book and book an hour-long or 20-30-minute call with one of our account managers, and they'll get you set up. Once you're up and running with membership payments, we also recommend match fees. So this came out last summer during COVID. It's been heavily used by cricket and by quite a lot of hockey clubs already, and we're starting to see football clubs pick it up now, and rugby clubs are coming in on a daily basis to use it. So match fees is all done through our mobile apps. You set it up in the control panel. You set up how much you want to charge, but once it's up and running, you can run it all through the mobile apps, the manager app and the Pitchera club app. In simple terms, the manager can open up the app, they can select who they want to charge money to, and they can send that through the app. The players or the parents, their app lights up. They can see they owe £5 for playing. They press a button, they pay it through their phone, just like paying for Deliveroo, and immediately the money is wired from the player to the club account. We're seeing tens of thousands of these transactions now every Saturday and Sunday and Tuesday and Thursday whenever sport's being played. Again, we're seeing more payments are being collected. We're seeing the less chasing for the non-payers, so coaches are happy. In a COVID world, it means we're not passing coins and notes to each other. We're not going to banks and standing in queues, and everything is tracked online. So I recommend you all dive into your control panel and you go to the match fees section of your control panel. It looks like this. There's lots of helpful advice along here. You can set up different types of match fees, so ladies match fees, under 16s match fees. It could just be junior match fees or senior match fees, and you get a full record of everything that's being collected. You can see how many have not been paid, and you can see who hasn't paid and who has paid. So down here, you can see Joe Smith has not paid, Jono's not paid, Dan Ingham has paid. You can set up different payments amounts. It's a really smart, intuitive system to use. So please do embrace that and get as many teams, coaches, and club officials at your club using it. You will save a huge amount of time and you will collect more revenue as well. Next one is club sponsors. So clubs tend to set up their sponsors on Pitch Hero and then they sometimes forget about them and they don't keep them up to date. One thing we always say, especially at my club, remove the old sponsors. If they stop paying or supporting the club, remove their logos. So you need to go on and do a mini audit of all the sponsors currently showing on your club website and make sure there's nobody who has stopped paying the club. Second thing is to make sure all your new sponsors are listed. So this is Boston United, one of our clubs up there in the Panorama League. They have a lot of great sponsors. They put them all here on the home page, and they also run across the middle here, so they look nice and smart. And they have their main sponsor across the top here as well. If you go to information, you can list all your sponsors in this section, and you can also write a little bio on each one, and you can make sure there's a link to their website as well. So you need to make sure your sponsors are up to date. And finally, on sponsors, you can also assign sponsors to a team. Now, I'm not sure if these guys have done it. Let's have a look. It doesn't look like they have. But you can also say this sponsor sponsors this specific team. Oh, here we go. There it is. So these four are specific first team sponsors, and they can appear on the first team page as well. So if you have lots of junior teams, they should be selling their own sponsorship, and they can all sit on the right page as well. I'll just show you where sponsors are. That's under site content, which is here. So site content on the navigation, hit sponsors. And this is where you can add your sponsors. Add a sponsor, add all the information, and you can rank them and assign them to various places. So the placement is where it appears. So this BMW sponsor appears in one placement. Knight Frank, 5. Jewson's Builders, 10 different places. So a quick sponsor audit is super important. And finally, top tip for tonight is the team pages. So this is one that Chinar Rugby Club does really well. So let's have a look at Chinar Rugby Club. So if you come to the home page, Chinar Rugby Club, look, their sponsors look great. Lots of great content about pre-season friendlies. They've got their fixtures showing already. Lots of great albums. Look at all these affiliations they've got and their sponsors. Website looks great. If they click through now to their teams, so these are all their teams. Big club, big club. First team, we go to their first team. So this is their first team homepage. Let's get that to load properly. There we go. So they've got a photo of the team, really important. Everyone loves a photo. But they've also written a full bio of the team as well. Who they are, what team they play in, when they train, Tuesday and Thursday nights, semi-pro players they talk about. They've got a link here to the contact page of the director of rugby. Really important. But doesn't matter that they're a high-level team, every team should be doing something like this. So whether it's the under-10s, the under-12s, the under-15s, the ladies, youth, whoever, every team should have a good team photo. The first game they play that season, get them to do a team photo and get it uploaded to the team website. Add a bio, talk about the coaches, make sure you link to the contact page. That contact page link just goes straight through here. And you've got all the contacts lined up who can be contacted really easily through Pitch Hero. And a bit of a bio, you know, what are you about? Are you about serious football? Are you playing in a serious league? Or is it much more about the participation and the skills at different levels? Welcome. Are you looking for new players? Where do you train? Where do you play your matches? Do you play in tournaments? Use this section to really try and sell your team. And when you add fixtures, the most upcoming fixtures will be listed here on the last one. League table as well will show all the officials to do with that team, and then the most recent team news and galleries as well. So as you can see, if you really take advantage of everything that Pitch Hero has to offer, you can have a really smart looking website that's super, super helpful for new members, new parents and new players. Okay, folks, that's it. I appreciate that was very quick, probably quicker than it should have been, but I will email you all a copy of this presentation now. And we're going to turn this into a longer video as well, which we'll place on the blog and talk about some more things. So lots to go from there. I think there's 12 points in total. So a few things to keep you busy over the coming days. Quick couple of questions here. So when is there going to be feature parity between browsers, iOS and Android? I think that's the apps, perhaps. We're working on the apps all the time and trying to bring them up so they are exactly the same. I think you are right. I think Android might be ahead of iOS at the moment. I'm not sure. But I promise you it's something the team are very keen to have parity of. So we're certainly working on that. Does the migration work for groups rather than teams? That's interesting. Yes, it does. I believe. I might be digging myself a hole there. But in terms of migrating people, it's do Denise the action of it. So if you can change it to groups, it may work. What else is I'll find out exactly for tomorrow with one of our support guys, and they confirm that for you. So check your inbox before 10 o'clock tomorrow, and there should be an answer there for you. If you've got any other questions, folks, fire them in now. I'll take 2 minutes. I'll hold on for 2 minutes. We always welcome questions. Also, a little bit of self-promotion. We've got lots more webinars going on this month, as I pointed out to you earlier. So that's tonight. On Monday night, myself and John Oates are talking about retaining members and business partners and supporters. So once you've got them, how do you hold on to them and make sure they keep coming back? We'll be talking about things like looking after your sponsors to make sure they keep sponsoring the club and keep committing, but also making sure that you look after your players. So when they hit that tricky age of 14, 15, 16, they keep coming back and they become adult players as well. And then throughout August and September, we'll be adding more and more. So please do keep an eye on this page. It's join.picture/webinars and join us throughout the summer. Quick question here is, how do we get members to update their details? You can do a push to all members where you request that they update their details. Joy, I'll get the support team to send you a link with a link to this section in the help area as well. But you can certainly get your members to update their details by sending them a push prompt to do it. So I'll get the guys to send you an update for that tomorrow. Okay, guys, that's it. I hope that was helpful. We'll keep doing more of these. We're trying to keep the site short so you can get on with your evenings and have your dinner. But thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll speak again very soon. Good night. Thanks.